Hello and welcome to tonight's stream of 2S Racing League round, I think 11 it is, at Spa-Francorchamps. I'm Timo, and joining me today is Tara, and it's really weird to be the one who starts the moderation, I have to say. Ran out of words there.
It's role reversal here at Spa. We've got Timo who is streaming. Timo is doing the big camera work as well. So I'm just along for the ride, and Timo is going to be the one leading this broadcast. So something a little bit different for you here today.
Yeah. I personally hope everything is working. When I had a little test run with this stream, everything worked just fine.
Yep, it looks like it's working. I can see the stream is up, so I think we're good.
That's good. So according to Tipsy, we've got try quali and drive race, but oh, Clara. He's he's dead atop the hill.
Oh dear.
He's out of wheels. I mean, he still has got 3 of them.
Yeah. Formula 1 cars not much good on 3 wheels. They need 4. Oh, as Noel spins as well into Les Combes. So lots of drama in the first minute or so of this qualifying session.
So already go. Yeah, so we've got 14 drivers today. We've got Pizza Voodoo Man, and I'm still not sure if I'm going to call him that or just McJackly, because that's it all. I'm very confused. I'll be confused if I call him Pizza Voodoo Man all the time. I mean, the name is objectively funny. No doubts about that. I think Stinger's already on a lap. Let me have a look at the telemetry. But he got... Okay, never mind, it's an out lap.
Yeah, Nick I think Bants is about to start one.
Okay, then let's ride on board with Bants. I mean, we can do the corner naming here. I know some of the corners, so acceleration on the start-finish straight, and now it is timed. He's going towards the first turn. Lassos, it's a sharp right-hand corner. Locks up a bit there, but it's still fine. And now the hunt down the hill towards Rouge. Probably one of, if not the most famous corners on the track, now heading up towards Radeon, which is a dead meme. And then here's the DRS straight. It's the... Wait, yeah, Camel Straight. I was about to call it Hanger Straight again. And heading towards the 3 corners, 90-degree corners of Les Combes. It's probably the best overtaking opportunity right after Camel Straight. And now towards Bruxelles? Brevage? I don't know. Bruxelles.
Yeah, I think the whole complex is Bruxelles, but yeah, the right-hander specifically is Brevage, and now this is Jackie Ick's corner, this left-hander.
Now going towards the really, really long and fast left-hander, Puhorn, which I apparently called Puhorn yesterday, according to chat at least. And now here you've got to help me for these 2.
This is the Les Fagnes chicane, the right and the left, and then we're heading into Stavelot, and then finally Paul Frere before the back straight.
Stinger retired. Let's look at Rouge or something. Oh yeah, it's Rouge, and he's got 3 wheels.
Oh dear, so the second victim of Eau Rouge is Stinger. Oh, right in the middle of the track. Jesse just about avoids him and ends up going off the road avoiding him. Oh my goodness, he got away with it just.
They didn't catch that. Towards the end of the lap you saw, or you didn't see Bants going up Blanchimont and then into bus stop, and it concludes the lap, and it's a 42.9. I think that's reasonable.
Yep, gets beaten almost immediately though by Nick crossing the line. He does a 42.7, so good stuff from who we expect to be the 2 front runners here today.
But also, I expect Yugos and King Buzzer to have a word to say in the fight for the top. I think Danico had probably had a bigger mistake in his lap, because normally he's not down the order that far. So he'll try and get a better lap done. He's on soft tires though. I didn't put on the detail. Yeah, Slash LP. Slash LP's time is good on mediums. So that's 2 compounds, and he's only a second off or so.
Yep, very good lap from Slash LP. Hugo's abandoned his first lap, by the way, so he obviously invalidated it. before he
Probably.
could do it. So did Cursed. He's coming into the pits now.
My guess would be at Pujon or at Eau Rouge, or rather Radion.
Yeah,
Because
I
apart
think.
from that, I do not know where you invalidated. Eau Rouge
Yeah,
itself,
Pujon's
you can.
quite likely.
Yeah, Eau Rouge itself you can cut. Or maybe it's also Jackie X corner. If you go to white there, then it invalidates your lap as well. As we see Danny Coe on his second shot on this very same set of soft tires through Pujon towards the Lefanje.
Lefanya, yeah, something like that.
Lefanje. Okay.
It's
Cool.
French pronunciation, which nobody can do who's not French. So, as Kitsune
Lefanje.
in chat, I'm sure, will tell us, Lefanya,
Okay,
something like
I'll just say Les Fangiers. And
that.
by the way, did you share a stream link or something?
Oh no, I didn't. Let's do that. I will
Yeah.
share the stream link.
So maybe you have a look if the sound is optimized, because of course I couldn't optimize the sound with the co-commentator before that. But I mean, it's still quality, so we're having time. Tipsy specifically mentioned, as Danico goes into the pits, Tipsy specifically mentioned that it is overcast, and we know that overcast qualifying sometimes lead to that lead to these mean rain droplets coming in at the end of the lap, and that can really screw you up if you're especially if you're trying to pull off a weird strategy call, and then at the end of the lap, or yeah, when you're doing your hot one, the one that counts in the end on your preferred set of tires, and then suddenly the rain droplets come in and you're like, oh, I'm sliding, cool. So that's might be
Yep,
problematic if it comes to play.
absolutely right. I'm too loud, by the way. So if you can turn me down a little bit, probably turn me down maybe to about 3/4 of what I am now, then that might be good.
Oh yeah, you're at 140%.
Aha, there we go. So yeah, maybe if I go to 100, then that would be
Yeah,
slightly better.
when we play iRacing, that's just about right. But might be the reason I can never hear Bants. Except when he's shouting now, check if it's better, please.
Okay, we will see if it's better. TipsyBob, in the meantime, completing a lap on soft tires. So, oh, I'm still quite loud.
Okay, you're at 105 now.
Maybe down to like 75 or so, something like that.
That's fascinating. Maybe I should. How's the game volume? Maybe I should.
Game volume is fine.
Okay, then I put my mic to max. That's very interesting. Okay, now it should be fine. You're at 75 now. I have to remember to put it up afterwards, as Tipsy takes the escape road at Lake Com, because did he run out of fuel? Yeah, I guess he did.
I think no, he's just letting people pass. I think he's just
Oh yeah, not out of
doing
fuel.
that while he
But this
while
is
somebody gets past. So very polite.
But this is really slow, that's why I was wondering. His teammate in the meantime, Bants, is he on a lap? It doesn't show him on an out lap, and I think... Okay, he's definitely on an out lap, because he's already taking 2 minutes. And he's now headed towards bus stop. Will he pull over? No, okay. Yeah, this was the out lap. Now, trying to get the rest to run. I already watched a lap of Bants, don't need another. He's now going through turn 1. Where's Nick? Nick is also in bus stop, and he's also setting up a lap. Let's have a look at him, because he and Bants are probably trading times right now.
Yep, so they're both about to start their second lap, or they would both just have started their second lap. You only get 3 really here at Spa. It's such a long lap that you can't really get a 4th run in because there's not enough time.
That's hard anyways for most tracks, at least in my experience. I think so. I think for the race, the spot we will see the most action on, apart from Yugos puts in a 42.5. The spot where we will probably see the most action happening on track will be the Camel Straight. I'm always careful when I say that name, because I always think of another straight.
The run up the hill.
Damn it. Yeah. So. Yeah, basically everything between La Sauce and Les Combes is where all the action happens. The carnage for Eau Rouge and Radion, and the overtaking action at the Camel Straight. Especially like, I think in the EGL tournament or back then ZA Majors tournament, we had some fierce battles there. I think Etni,
Yeah,
Revo,
absolutely. Yeah, we
Bants.
had that 3 wide moment into Lakon, which was completely fantastic. And we might get something similar today. Bants
Oh,
goes fast.
Bants! I should have stayed on board. And then Nick enters bus stop chicane. Oh, and this car gets a bit loose, but it all looks like it's under control. And cars get loose here all the time in that game. And he goes over the line, and he tops him, even by
Nice.
3/10 of a second. So, good job from Nick. Re-securing provisional pole position. It seems that he looks like he's just that little bit faster than Bants, and yeah, honestly, his development over the league has been, I don't know, it has gone unnoticed for me for most of the time, but now I can just see how he is absolutely quick. Like, he was always front midfield all the time, like when Ravo and you were still very good in the league, and then the others joined, and Nick was still front midfield, and now he looks like everything is coming together for him all of a sudden now. It's good to
absolutely.
see.
Absolutely. I mean, we know how quick Bants is around here. We've seen plenty of good races from Bants. He won the last season's race here, I believe. So obviously very fast, and we've seen that not only in F1 but also in Assetto Corsa and games like that, where just at Spa he's always had a little bit of a pace advantage. But yeah, Nick putting a really good lap together.
King Buzzer just completed a 4-minute 30 lap, so I guess it was a really weird outlap. What is he doing? Okay. Very confused. King Buzzer still hasn't got a lap in. And he retires, so he'll start from last position, except maybe if someone gets disqualified. But I doubt that'll happen. Cursed is meanwhile, oh yeah, he's on an outlap, and Puhan. Pizza Voodoo Man, I'll stick with that, has also not completed a lap yet, and he's in P11. And this is an outlap as well. Jesse re-entering the pits. Noel as well. Tipsy as well. Slash LP might be on one. No, he's certainly not. He's slowed down a lot. And he's also conserving ERS, medium tires.
Yeah, Slash LP, it's really weird because it doesn't look like he's going to go out and do a run on super softs at all. It looks like he wants to start the race on the medium tires, which is interesting. I mean, he's fourth at the moment. Yeah, I don't know why he's going out for another run. That seems a little bit unnecessary to me. He's about to start what looks like a flying lap, and I don't know either. It's a curious one.
So my guess would be that he now enters the pits to go for a soft lap and tries to get as far up as possible. I mean, he should be able to top his medium time on the soft tires. And yeah, exactly. I guess that's what he's doing. And he's hoping that this lap will be a good one. But if not, he's still in P4 on mediums. And medium, the strategy will be soft to mediums then, or medium to soft, depending.
Yeah, probably, yeah. I mean, it's not particularly difficult, I don't think, to go from the super softs to the mediums, which is why I think we're seeing most of the drivers today start on the super softs. But yeah, I mean, it might be an advantage just in the longer term very slightly, but probably, I don't know whether it's how much grid position it's worth giving up to try and do that. Certainly not much more than the 4th place that he's in now, and I suspect he'll go down the order a little bit as people improve.
Danico is now trying to top his soft lap on super soft tires. Let's have a look. Yeah, everyone except Slash LP has fitted super softs right now. I guess Slash LP will be the only one not starting on them because Tipsy and Danico are probably likely to be able to top their soft time. And who just... Oh, yeah, that's Pizza Voodoo Man going
Jack
up.
Knightley, or Mac Gagley, or Pizza Voodoo Man, whichever you prefer.
Or Mike Wazowski for the really weird people.
Yeah.
I'm very intellectual sometimes. But...
Tipsy, what happened to Tipsy?
I'll have a look on board with someone approaching Eau Rouge. I doubt it though, because we would have yellow flags. Jeremy now going up the hill, and there's no dead McLaren to be seen, so I guess it was on his own terms. Maybe wanted to stay on softs, I do not really know. Doesn't make too much sense in my point of view, but okay.
We got Noel starting a fast one as well now, so drivers, I think, starting to go out. And see Bants on.
Oh, Triton has joined.
Oh,
You're
Triton's
late,
joined. So Triton will be starting from the back, unfortunately, with a default setup. Might not be too bad around here. We saw Kirst yesterday in the wet race for SLR, going from last to 8th in the end on the default setup. So it doesn't perform too badly around here, but it will be a pretty big disadvantage against the front runners.
Danico also retires now, but there's yellow, so there might well have been a crash.
Well, I think he just done a lap, so I'm not sure.
Okay.
He just improved to 4th, so I think he is. He was probably not on a better one. Peter Budeman about to improve
speaking of
here,
parking
I think.
it, you guys just had a violent parking crash with the wall, and so either he had a stroke or that was intentional.
Yeah, Peter Budeman improved his time by 4/10 or so, and then went straight into the wall in La Source to end his session. So that's one way of doing it. Jeremy has improved now as well to 6th place. He did a 43.5. And Noel with an excellent lap also does a 43.5.
Jesse still yet to put in a proper lap, and he is now going through Blanchimont to start his lap. But honestly, if I was Jesse, I wouldn't do it, because he is currently getting like free P11, even though it's possible to go from super softs to mediums. I think it might be faster not doing it.
Yeah, I think you might be right.
But Jesse has another opinion on that, so he'll give his best to try and get Tipsy out there. Oh, he puts a wheel on the grass. Looks messy so far.
So we've got, at the front, we've got Bants, who's retired, so he, I guess, invalidated his attempt at a lap. So it looks like Nick might be on pole here in the Ferrari. We've got Slash LP on a fast one on soft, so he's determined not to use the super soft tyres here today to qualify. And yeah, as you mentioned, you've got Jesse, Jeremy and Noel out there as well.
Jesse's car looks painfully unstable, I've got to say, especially down the hill and then up the hill again. As Triton informs us of the possibility of leaving the race midway through the race, because he might have got something else to do and he wasn't even supposed to be here, so we shouldn't be alarmed.
Yeah, fair enough. So we'll keep that in mind. Oh, Slash LP gets it all out of shape on the exit. Got a pretty good lap, though. He goes up to P5 on the softs.
Yeah, good effort from him. It's a good position to start in, I guess. After like 4 laps or so, he'll have the edge on the others. So...
Yep, I think that's right. So we're just waiting on Jesse now to finish his lap. Go through the last couple of corners.
Little lockup, but not too serious. And will he gain positions? I would hope for him that he doesn't. But he does, and he goes 6th. Okay, that's fair enough. That's good, yeah. Okay, then I take back what I said. That's only a second off pole, so good effort from him. If this lap had put him like around when Noel and Kirst are, then I would have been more critical of his attempt to go faster, or to put in a lap to get out of P11. But this way, I think it's decent for him.
Yeah, probably worth it to start on used tyres.
Yes.
And start 6th instead of 11th. So I think that's completely reasonable. Tipsy informing us that he did an Astro apparently from yesterday, so obviously ran wide in the Stavolo corners and then hit that wall that juts out, also known as doing a revo.
That was. When did he do that?
It was either last season or the season before. I don't remember. but he definitely did that.
Okay,
And he was
not the one before, because yeah, it must have been season 4 then, because season 3 he didn't attend and you didn't attend and someone else didn't attend, and that's why I got a podium.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And in the one in season 2 he won, I think. Him or Xanaki.
Oh, by the way, shout out to Clara, who yesterday achieved what nobody else has ever achieved, who's been a teammate of mine in 2SRL while I've been in the race, is getting a podium in the Assetto Corsa race yesterday. So
As your
Clara
ex-teammate, I hate my life.
Although you did get that podium when I
Yeah,
wasn't.
exactly. Yeah, we
but-
were technically teammates, and you weren't
Yeah.
there. But the curse. I think it's more the Renault than the than you being the first driver.
But no, great performance from Clara yesterday. That was a good fun race
No,
that
it
we had
wasn't.
join us. Well, yeah, it wasn't particularly for Thimo. But,
I'm still bitter about that. I will be until I redeem myself by getting a result that is... I mean, I'm fine with 4th, but I'm not fine with spinning 4 times. That's not fun, okay?
Okay. So that's Spa next, isn't it? Whenever we end
Yes,
up
it
doing
is.
that, the third race of the calendar, so that should be fun.
Yeah, my Spa... my results at Spa and 2 Sarel races have been third, DNF in lap 1. So something of that would be interesting.
Yeah, Ro was saying he couldn't attend because of uni. It's unfortunate.
I was talking about wait, season 3, whatever.
No, yeah.
Oh yeah.
He's saying he couldn't attend yesterday because of uni.
Oh, and Jeremy.
Jeremy's gone.
He's
He's
doing
disconnected.
the low life internet mode.
Yeah, I don't know if Jeremy's going to be able to rejoin before the race starts. He's not got very long.
I think long enough because it's Spa, but he certainly has to hurry.
Yep, certainly does. Oh, he's back in the session, so it might be all right.
He should be, but okay, his car just looked interesting in Pujon. Oh no, it just came to my mind that I have to commentate the first people going into turn 1. I'm not
unless
used
you really
to
don't
that
want
anymore.
to.
I will.
Okay.
Just kidding, I'll probably just shout names after a moment.
I think that's fine. That's all Crofty does. So.
Fair enough.
Not
Alright,
always the right name.
Or
but, you know.
I'll just shut up for the first 2 turns like the German commentators do.
Do they really? Surely they don't
Not
do that.
really, but I mean they don't say anything reasonable.
Okay. It is hard to say reasonable things in turn 1, to be fair.
Yes.
That's why I never say anything reasonable either.
I'll give a good example. I think you're talking more reasonable stuff than RTL commentators, but that's just my opinion. I don't have a very high opinion of them. By the way, a warm-up lap without a crash. I'm very proud. I'm so proud of this community. And Jeremy still looks disconnected to me, if you ask me.
Does he have a shadow? No, he doesn't have a shadow, so yeah,
Oh,
he's not
now
in the
he's
car.
solid.
Okay.
Oh, where the hell did the camera just put? Okay, that is fine. So it's 5 red lights and out they go. And I think Nick had a good start and Mercedes already darting past in the background. And Nick has already taken the lead. Bants has a little look down the inside, but nothing happening there. I think Yugas has taken has lost the position to Danico. Everyone getting through La Source for the moment. Someone run wide in the background there, but Bants already slotted in behind. Jesse's up at P5. Good start from him. And they are running towards Radion now, and Bants looks like he immediately wants to challenge for the lead. And I think we have yellow flags, but I do not know what happened there. Bants now goes to the outside, and he also looks very interested in what is going on there. And Bants takes the lead for the moment. But bad run through there. He forces Nick a bit wide, and now Danico sees his chance, and Yugos is also putting his nose in there. Now they run towards Brussels, and Jesse also very interested. Bants with a little lockup, and Danico not able to go through. Oh, Yugos and Jesse! Yugos and Jesse come together in Rivage, and now going through the X corner. So you guys down to P7 behind TipsyBob, but he will maybe try something in Puron. I think he's got front wing damage though, so he shouldn't play his life there. He forces a Mercedes fight. That is Clara, I think. Oh, Clara!
No.
Pizza Wuderman gets absolutely obliterated, and I just...
And so does Triton as well.
Oh
and he
my
lost his
god,
front wing
I
as
just...
well. Jesse's off the track as well. That was absolute carnage.
I don't think I've ever... Oh my god, yeah.
I didn't see exactly what happened. Hugo seemed to run wide and push Clara off track, and then Clara lost it while he was out there. So really unfortunate. It was a clean first lap until then, other than the Hugo's Jesse crash in Rivage. Everyone up front, though, fantastic racing.
Oh, Jeremy, and Kick Basso goes off! Into the wall, and Jesse... Wow. That was from the bottom of my lungs. I'm just going to say that. When you thought I was at the end when I was shouting all over the place yesterday, you were wrong. This just topped all of it. Pit stops from Pizza Wuderman, who has survived. I'm also surprised that Triton didn't... Oh, he got a penalty for speeding in the pit lane. I'm surprised that he didn't just instantly give up after that.
Really TipsyBob on Knoll here, I think, is going to have a go at overtaking into Lecom.
Side by side, Knoll will have the inside line. Tipsy outbraking him. Knoll not playing his life, and that is a pass done. Yugos wants to get up the order again. He catches a bit of gravel. Up front, the gap is pretty close. I'm anxiously looking at that, trying not to miss anything. Looks fine though. The intervals are really doing weird stuff.
It is all a little bit close, isn't it? Bants has not really dropped Nick or Danico or Slash LP, honestly. Slash LP on the soft tyres got a pretty good start, and he's up in 4th as King Buzzo
retires,
unfortunately.
Look, maybe that is up the hill. Yes, it is. That's
exactly what happened, as Knoll, I think, is overtaken by Hugo. I didn't see that exactly where that happened. It must have been around the chicane at Lefania into Stavolo. So Hugo's up to 6. Doesn't look too badly damaged in that Renault.
That's probably the main priority when you're driving Spa, is to get a setup that you can take through Eau Rouge and Radillon without it being a bit unstable, because if it is a bit unstable there, then you might as well just make that one little mistake in the race, and that just ends the race immediately, because you're going towards a wall with 300 kilometers an hour there, or a bit less, but like
absolutely
250.
right. So up front, looks like we have a race on here between Bants and Nick and Danico. It is all very close. DRS now, of course, enabled, so they will be able, the cars behind, to open that rear wing that Nick does, and Danico, I guess, does, but doesn't look like he was using it there. But very, very close now on this third lap of the race with these front 3, and Danico at the moment looking...
He looks really close.
Yeah, he does. He looks quite interested in that second place.
Slash LP also lurking behind them on the different strategies, so his time to shine might come in a few laps when everyone's super soft tires approach their demise, while his soft tires are still in a vital state.
Yep, absolutely right. And he is just about on the back of that group, not quite in DRS range. Danico getting a bit loose there. Got away with it. Lost a little bit of time though. It looks like a resumption of the battle we had last week at Monaco between Bants and Nick, and once again, these two proving themselves the class of the field at the moment.
Hugo has made the pass on Knoll, I think, and is now behind TipsyBob, but he's not rapidly closing in on him. I do not know if he took damage. I barely saw the crash with Jesse because I think I went on board for the moment, so I didn't see them fly off in the background.
Yeah, he got turned by Jesse. I don't know whether he hit the wall. If he did, he didn't hit it very hard, so he won't have much damage. But he looks like he's okay at the moment, and he has been closing on TipsyBob for the last lap and a half or so.
Oh, has he? Okay.
Up front, don't know whether Nick is close enough. Oh, that looked like a moment in Eau Rouge there from Nick. He got away with it though. Slash LP with a penalty. That's 3 seconds for him.
The DRS and Slipstream are very powerful here, but they are not enough in this case. He was getting a bad run out of Rouge, so that's the reason he's not able to attack here. What he will try to do now is, of course, putting pressure on Bants as much as he can.
Oh, Danico made a mistake.
Clara with the fastest lap of the race.
Danico made a mistake somewhere. He's dropped behind.
Oh, right,
Stash
he has.
Didn't see exactly. Maybe it was a lag even. He's been lagging a little bit in these first couple of laps, so maybe that was why. And he needed more time.
Yeah, he is generally the one who is suspect to lag most often. And Curse makes a pass and Triton. What is going on there? No, Curse just made the pass. No.
Oh, and then he almost lost it in Lake Arm, but just about managed to save it. So got away with that one, did Kirst.
So we look at the position changes to see who has gained the most, and of course TipsyBob. He basically started, I think, last of those who didn't retire earlier in P11, and he's running in P5, and he is running there comfortably. He's Yugas gained like a third of a second or maybe even half a second on him, but he is also getting closer to Danico. If that is down to lag,
absolutely.
I do not know.
It looks like he's got very good pace, Tipsy. He's obviously doing everything he can to try and stay with Danico in DRS range at the moment. Up front, Bants and Nick pretty close to each other. Bants not quite having to go defensive into Lake On, but they're running pretty much line astern now as they go through that chicane. So again, Nick is just lurking behind Bants.
Yeah, to me it looks like Nick is just pushing that car a little bit more because he runs a bit wide on corner exits, especially
and being pushed off the road. Stinger being pushed off the road in Lake On by Noel. And did just about manage to save it, but they were side by side through the chicane there, and Stinger coming off worse in that one.
Unfortunate for him, but he's still running in P8 because he didn't die in the start. I think that the start took many not out of the race but out of the front midfield. There's a big gap between Pizza Wuderman and Stinger, between P8 and P9. I mean, we saw Clara's brutal death. We saw Triton getting hit by it. I don't know what happened to Jeremy. He's also down there, and I saw him pit on lap 2 that was. So I don't think he has been involved in that start drama, but I think he maybe picked up damage on the second lap, or on the first one he didn't bother pitting. I do not know. And Danico goes into the pits.
Yep, absolutely. So he's the first one to make what looks like a scheduled pit stop for him. Can't think of any reason why he would pit otherwise. So he's going to go probably onto the medium tire, it looks like.
Jeremy is on the interval at least closing in on Triton. I do not know, is Triton maybe having a bit of a nightmare out there right now? Okay, he's on soft tires versus the super soft. He's an AI.
Faster than that. Oh, okay, so that's not, but not a real car.
It's on and off for him. He wasn't an AI all the time, and now Jeremy and him are running side by side, fighting it out for P11. Oh, Jeremy!
Oh, no. Very unfortunate. Rip. Loops it around on the exit of the bus stop.
I've got experience with that.
Spin turn. And he's going to pit, in fact. Going to drive the... Oh, is he going to get away with that? Just about.
What did he... Oh, my God!
Went the wrong way down the track. He was a little bit lucky to get away with that. Might have been disqualified.
Certainly.
But did get away with it.
But he decides not to do more. So Jeremy out of the race, unfortunately, already on lap 5 for him. Lap 6 for the leaders, who are now 1 second apart. And I think it's now that annoying window for Nick where... Okay, it's not as annoying here as it is in real life or in a Assetto Corsa, where you're just out of DRS range, but just inside of dirty air range, I would say.
Yeah, it's not too bad in F1 2018. You don't really have dirty air when you're this far back at all. In fact, Nick deciding to go into the pits, so he will pit 1 lap before Bants, maybe to try the undercut even. and it'll be interesting to see whether he can get serviced and get out and do a lap on mediums. Not sure what the undercut situation is, because medium tires pretty notoriously difficult to warm up, so might be that quite as fast as maybe he would hope.
Tipsy goes up the hill here. /RP and Bants are only 2.5 seconds apart, and it looks like /RP is currently faster than the leader of this race, which of course will be down to tire degradation. Bants is super soft
Something
tires.
else with Nick as well is that he's in awful traffic. He's come up behind Stinger and behind Noel, so both of those drivers.
How will he do with the traffic? I guess Noel might do him a favor by letting him pass their teammates after all, but Stinger certainly won't. Also Stinger, after having been shoved off by Noel, if I understood that right, he's back up to the back of Noel, and I think, yeah, he's trying to make a pass, but obviously here that won't work. Now towards Perron.
Certainly is trying, but /LP closing that gap, as you mentioned. Looks like he's fast in this race, and certainly at the moment faster than Bants.
Ran a bit wide there, and almost did an Astro Boys, but Astro Boys had that epic moment of drifting towards the wall. You could also almost make it to be continued meme out of Astro Boy's death. And now Bants chooses what I think is the right strategy call. Going into the pits at the end of lap 7 while /LP leads the field into lap 8. Tipsy also still out. I think Tipsy's also on softs, right?
Tipsy's on super soft.
Okay.
So Tipsy will have to take those super softs another lap, which is a long time to take them. Although I think he started just outside the top 10, so I think he did, yeah. Started with fresh tires rather than used tires.
That's probably then the 1 lap edge he has got on Bants on tire wear. And so the question will be, what do you think? How will the fresh soft? Wait, Bants put on softs?
Bants has put on soft, so he's going to the end of the race on softs. He thinks he can get there, and also he's come out a long way ahead of Nick. Nick got held up badly that lap, and the medium tires weren't really up to temperature, so he's extended that lead. It was just over a second before they pitted. It's now just over 3 seconds between Bants and Nick.
Things playing out well for Bants for the moment, but I'm very suspicious of the decision to go on soft tires. I guess, 14 laps are possible, but
yeah, it's definitely possible. We I think the last time we ran here was Bants winning the race from me, and we both did this strategy, super softs onto soft, so it's definitely possible. Mediums are a surer bet, but if you manage the tires well enough, then softs are pretty comfortable to go to the end of the race as well. You end up on 60 or so % tire wear, which is quite a lot, and the last couple of laps are a bit painful, but you can get away with it.
/LP has not got the luxury of being able to do that. He's not able to go softs onto mediums, but the mediums will have better tire wear than the softs.
Tipsy's staying out another lap, by the way, on the super soft, so he's going to have done 9 laps before he pits.
He'll certainly try and do the softs till the end, because 13 or 14 laps of mediums are a waste. Oh, it's 13. But did you just ride on board with him? If so, you probably saw how he got completely out of shape through Eau Rouge. He went up the hill and his steering wheel just had that little snap, so he had to catch the car. That looked absolutely dangerous.
Yeah, you don't want to be doing that on the way up that corner. That is often going to be death.
Not for Tipsy, but I don't think he'll try and push his luck another lap. You can see how /LP is getting away from Tipsy. I think it's been 3 seconds in the last 3 laps. These super softs giving up their will to live, notably.
Yep, a little bit.
Comparison to the softs.
You can see where he comes out. Hugo's is still in this race as well. He's come in and put the softs on. He's only a second and a half behind that battle for 5th between Stinger and Danico right now. Stinger still yet to pit. Danico has relatively fresh mediums on.
Stinger on softs probably won't pit too soon. You can see how Danico seeks that gap and how he always compromises his corner entries because he knows that Stinger would hold him up if he went for that, and instead he's trying to get better exits to make the pass on the straight, and now I think he might be able to do that. Stinger doesn't quite close the gap. That would have been dangerous as hell if he did, so I'm glad he didn't. Yugos now also visibly close. What the? Okay, Stinger just did an absolute send there. I guess he missed this. Oh, did he hit Yugos?
He did hit Hugos and got away with it somehow. Don't know if he knew exactly where Hugos was, but yeah, not great driving from Stinger, to be completely honest. A lunge up the inside that was never ever going to work.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on missing the braking point though, because I think he visibly steered to the right to try and avoid the car. And then he parked it there, but then he basically did a out on Tipsy. Tipsy didn't push his luck for another lap of old super softs, but he still had a little snap of oversteer through turns 2 and 3.
So very interestingly, Tipsy now on fresher tyres than the two cars ahead of him. Hugos, we know, has a lot of pace, and he's going to be looking at the back of Danico and trying to get that 4th place, I think, relatively soon. But Slash LP also pitted as well from those soft tyres on the same lap as Tipsy did on those super softs, and Slash LP is on mediums to the end of the race now, so he's looking good at the moment for 3rd place, but he's going to have Hugos on better tyres, cruising up to the back of him quite soon, I think.
Is Hugos closing in on Danico? I think he probably is.
Yeah, he
We've
definitely
got yellow flags on sector 1. That always makes me want to look towards our Rouge, but I don't think anything has happened because the yellows are already cleared and we haven't lost the car. Triton is struggling a good bit. Is he now an AI car, or what is going on for him? No, he's not an AI car. Is it maybe he hasn't put in any laps without the line or something? I do not know. What is Triton doing?
Yep, I don't know either. He's having a struggle though as Kurt gets himself a penalty. This battle for 4th is still raging. Danico has Hugos behind him, and it'll be quite interesting to see. It might be that Triton's struggling on the setup as well, because he'll be on default setup.
Yes, yeah, but I don't think that is the whole reason he's behind that far. So
yeah, no, I wouldn't have thought so. Yeah, I don't know what is up with Triton. Something looks like it is though. Hugo's now going to have DRS here down this back straight. He's going to close right in on Danico. He's going to go down the inside into Les Combes, and that will be a relatively straightforward move for him, I think. Hugo's into 4th place.
Maybe Danico might be able to get back at him towards the later stages of the race because his mediums will last longer, but yeah, we'll have to see. For the moment, this is P4 for Hugos. Slash LP is...
Oh, Nick with 3 seconds. That's a big deal.
I don't think Bants has got any seconds so far.
Nope. Don't think so either.
He's managing the gap, or Bants is managing the gap to Nick in the meantime. They are pretty much equally fast. Nick will maybe get another shot towards the end of the race, like I just described for Danico. Danico now going through Paul Frere, and will he... Okay, he's too far back from Hugos to be able to even think of a pass. Except, of course, he does a Stinger lunge, but that's not hope for that.
Hugo's going to be cruising up to the back of Slash LP, I would think. You know, he's got pace in that Renault, and he's got the better tyres for the moment as well. So 4 seconds the gap at the moment. I'm sure that will come down. TipsyBob as well, having a good long think about passing that Williams in front of him. Of course, got much better tyres, so he should have the grip advantage.
And Tipsy through Rouge and Radion. Let's have a look. Is he getting through there now? That was the first time I rode on board with Tipsy through that corner, and he didn't have a snap of oversteer, so I do not know, but the run wasn't good enough. He doesn't pick up enough slipstream or anything to get by. Also, of course, Danico can defend himself by the usage of the DRS. He's getting off the 4th position car driven by Yugos.
Absolutely right. So the situation up front is that Bants has a 3.5 second lead on the road. He's got 3 more seconds on penalties. He actually leads by 6.5 seconds from Nick. /LP also has 3 seconds worth of penalties, 4 seconds further back. And then Hugos, who I don't believe has any penalties, along with Danico. So Hugos, but he's not really closing the gap on /LP at the moment. It was 4 seconds last lap, and it's a bit more than that now.
Oh, very cool. Now it would be technically your turn to check the penalties because it looks bad on stream.
I have done that already, and that's that was the situation.
Okay, so, it sounded more like gas. Okay. I'm sorry.
No, Hugos has 1 warning, so
I underestimated
that's where he's
your
at.
proficiency.
Yeah, Nick with the 3-second penalties, and I don't see any warnings at all from Bants, so he's obviously kept his nose clean so far. Yeah.
Did you know that for all of the last season we've broadcasted together, and for the first half of the season I didn't know you could just click a driver and race director. I always counted through the list of incidents.
Oh, right, okay, yeah. No,
it was a pain.
Yeah.
But now Danico still close to Yugos, closer than Tipsy is to him. So maybe he's setting himself up for something, and indeed he does. He goes down the inside towards Lake, and never mind. The camera angle looked like he was side by side with him, when indeed he wasn't, or he pulled out early enough.
Yeah, not quite close enough that time. It was pretty close though, and Tipsy all the while is keeping a watching brief. And the issue for him, of course, as you mentioned earlier, is that Danico is close enough to Hugos that he also will have DRS, so it'll be a little bit difficult for him to actually make an overtake stick.
Yeah, Tipsy's hopes are probably currently with Hugos. If Hugos picks up in pace and Danico falls off the back of him, as we get another yellow flag in Sector 3. These yellow flags are really irritating me, but and on Sector 1, fascinating. What was I about to say? He has to hope that Hugos gets away quick enough, and now it looks like he's out of the DRS window, which was what I was about to mention. And that means that Tipsy might be able to have a shot himself now. Danico with a bit of a lockup that might have also cost him time. It's barely over a minute, and Pizza Budaman has, by the way, passed Stinger through Blanchimont, so P7 for him. I think he was involved in the starting incident. Yeah, he has 11-lap-old tires. That might be something. Tipsy out. Oh, Stinger has made the pass again. Oh, never mind.
Pizza Budaman has pitted as Triton finally retires, so miserable race for him, unfortunately.
Not a miserable race for Tipsy.
Danico and Tipsy, yeah. And it's going to be a battle, I think, into Lake Om. He's close enough, is Tipsy.
I don't think so, no. He
didn't. Using his battery, though.
Yeah, and also he didn't. Yeah, that's a reason. I was wondering, he was not closing in quick enough.
That was why he was in 1 mode. He should be in 4 if you want to get the maximum out of that battery. So he's going to have to wait a little bit longer. Might just be looking after the tyres as best he can at the moment behind the Williams.
Tried meanwhile messaging me that what he announced happened, and I should call it a gearbox issue. I do not know if Steam messages pop up on stream. I don't think they do.
I don't know. It depends on your settings. They don't for me, but I don't know in your case.
I specifically selected the game window, so I think I should be fine.
Yeah, I didn't see it pop up on stream. I'm just looking back now. Something that did happen though is that Tipsy got himself 3 seconds worth of penalties. While we were talking there, which is a pretty big deal. He ran wide in Pujon, so Tipsy has got it all to do now. Danico. Let me just double check the penalty situation again, because Danico does not have any penalties, only 1 warning so far. Tipsy has, of course, that 3 seconds that we just saw. So 8 laps to go in this race. Oh, King Buzzo's wheel died in qualifying and then had a heart attack in the race again. That's really unfortunate.
Yeah, I was wondering, he was quick in Hockenheim.
Yeah. No, definitely.
Danico just barely in the DRS window, was 2000. Oh no, let's Stinger in the pits. Was 0.02 of a second outside of the window when the interval showed up, but apparently at the measurement point was a different story. But Tipsy's out of the DRS window of Danico himself now. Still, and Tipsy's running out of time. His tires will certainly run into trouble soon compared to Danico's. Even though they're 4 laps older, should still be fine.
Yeah, I think that's right. He's on a little bit of a clock here, and he's in fact fallen out of the DRS window even of Danico here, so doesn't have the pace by the looks of things to trouble Danico. Still in a pretty good position in this race. He's in 6th right now, and he's not in any danger of losing that 6th place unless something incredible happens, but might be just a little bit impatient to try and get to that Williams nonetheless. Up front, it's all very serene indeed for Bants. He is more than 4 seconds ahead now. He still has not picked up any warnings at all, so he looks like he is very comfortably on his way to what would be a 2nd consecutive 2SRL win.
Oh, right, you won in Monaco, yeah.
Yep.
I forgot about that. Yeah, it's 5 seconds. Yeah. Slash LP is having 4 seconds out of him, and then there's Nick. I wonder if he might be able to close the gap, but I don't think so right now. Slash LP has no penalty though, does he?
I think Slash LP has 1 penalty.
Okay.
Let me double check. Yeah, he does. So
okay,
he's on penalty, 1 warning. Nick is on 1 penalty, 1 warning as well.
So battle on even grounds.
He's not really been closing that gap, Slash LP. He doesn't really seem to have the pace to be able to close in on Nick, who is pretty fast, but not as fast as Bants on the soft tyres, who looks like he's okay for the time being.
Does not only look okay, he looks absolutely
Yep, he looks really.
Yeah.
Yep, he does.
Danico is still hanging on to the back of Yugos. Tipsy will
just
not
about.
be happy.
And I wonder if... Yeah, Tipsy is falling off the back. I guess the soft tyres are beginning to show their age. Danico, though, is going to have the better of the tyre situation against Hugo's quite soon. So if he can cling onto the back while he's still at a little bit of a disadvantage here, then maybe with the DRS he might be in a good position to make something happen in the last, well, we're heading into the last 6 laps now of this race, lap 17 of 22.
It might swing back in his favor now. Let's hope we'll see a non-track battle between these two towards the end of the race.
Got DRS here up the hill as well, that'll help him. Another couple of tenths out of that lead.
DRS up the hill itself would be funny. And he's currently, this has been sector time, or faster than the sector one of his own PB, so he's absolutely flying. He's using all the possibilities he's been given. Hopefully he didn't have DRS and slipstream on his PB. It's still quick for him. 11-lap old medium tires. He's closed quite a bit. I think they will fight it out. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it looks like it. Hugo's is going to have his hands full in the last 5 laps or so. There's Jesse Pitts right at the back. Didn't see why, whether that was damage. But he is back out on soft tyres, and he'll go to the end of the race on those without any problem.
Further down the order, Pitts is also pretty close to Noel. Yeah, and he's also on better tyres, so might be able to snatch up P7 on his return.
Yep, looks like it. He's in a very good position to do that. He will be quite a bit faster than Noel on those tyres, I would have thought. Danico very close to the back of Hugo's now as they cross the line with 5 laps to go.
Camel Straight will be interesting, I guess, if Danico gets his run. Okay, I don't think he's quite close enough to make it a safe thing, but...
I think he's definitely close enough to be alongside.
Yeah, Hugo's run a little bit too good from afar. And yeah, he'll be a sitting duck. The slipstream and the open DRS. Hugo's moves to the inside to try and defend. And the camera angles are really not in our favor today. At least not in mine. And Hugo's holds on to it. It's utilizing the superior inside line there. And
Well defended.
You can just look how much Danico wants to go by there and how he places his car alongside Hugo's on the outside there just because he has to go somewhere. Yellow's in sector 3 and Clara retires, but I don't think we've got time to go investigate there. As this is very interesting. He goes 4 wheels off the track. I do not know if that gives you a warning already. I don't think so, but it might.
I think it usually does, and I'm just going to check the race. Yeah, he got a warning for that. So he's on 2 warnings now, Hugo's.
2 warnings, does Danny... I was looking for Danico, he doesn't have one, right?
He does not have a penalty, and Hugo's does not have a penalty either, but now Hugo's is on 2 warnings.
Also Hugo's, as you can see on the screen, he is certainly under pressure from then he's got to feel the heat right now. And that might in the end be his demise. His demise, but the reason he might not finish P4. DRS open again.
According to chat, you've suddenly gone quiet, by the way, Thimo. I don't know if that's
very cool.
You're okay to me, but yeah. That seems better.
Hello?
There we go, that seems better.
Okay. So...
Much closer this time, Danico. Up the hill, Hugo's knows exactly what's up. Goes defensive immediately, Danico. Going to be pulling out. And alongside now, and he's ahead before they get to the braking zone. Did he outbrake himself there? Not quite.
Oh, Hugo's! And they make contact, I think, but Hugo's able to hold on to his car and staying on track. P5 for him now. Danico, nice drive. He's also one of these who has, if I'm completely honest, been pretty mediocre last season all the time in SLR, and to several I would have never called him a top guy or anything, or even a front mid guy, but he has picked up pace this season dramatically.
Right, yeah. The Lecom corner, so around the outside, as Jesse does the fastest lap of the race on those soft, fresh soft tyres. But yeah, Pizza Voodoo Man now up to 7.
Super soft, even if I'm not having a bugged game right now. Yeah.
It says soft for me, but you might be. It says 0 laps for me, so it's bugged for me. So okay. You're probably right.
It is super softs then. The gap at the front is now, I think, started to come down a little, but just not enough. It's 3 laps to go for Nick and Bants, and Nick is not closing quick enough. I think Bants might have this in the bag, but he also might get commentators cursed by me.
We'll see. The penalty situation. Bants has 1 warning now, and Nick, of course.
Danico goes off! Never mind. Hugo's goes off in turn 1. I do not know what happened there. Maybe he broke himself and did a stinger. He avoided Danico and has gone wide, because that is not a location you usually go wide to the side, except lap 1. Still in DRS range.
He's just in DRS range, but looks like he's struggling to hang on to the back of that Williams. So Hugo's might have to be content with 5th place now. But further up, and yeah, you mentioned the gap up front. Didn't see exactly what happened to Bants. It must have been a mistake or something, because lap time suddenly dropping off. 3.5 seconds is the gap at the moment. Nick, of course, has 3 seconds of penalties as well. So it's unlikely to matter, but maybe just signs of a little bit of discomfort for Bants, but not very much discomfort, honestly. He should still win.
Probably. let's say Bants will win 3 times and suddenly Pastor Maldonado will come out of a mirror and kill him.
Hope nobody manages to summon the Chupacabra towards the end of this race, because that would be bad news for Bants.
What?
There's 2 laps to go then as they cross the line. Bants starting his penultimate lap. The gap is 3.5 seconds, and with those 3 seconds of penalties as well, it's a difficult situation for Nick if he wants to win this race. It looks like he's going to be finishing this one just as he did last week, in 2nd place.
By the way, how does that affect the championship standings? Might Bants still stand a chance of maybe challenging for the very top? I do not know how it looks right now. I think Triton and Yugos are the 2, or especially I think Yugos is our championship leader. Triton was a contender, but he is falling off with his low attendance.
Yeah. Well, the situation at the moment is that Hugos will retain his championship lead, but it will be closed. It's 31 points at the moment ahead of Nick, and it will be he's on 10 at the moment. Nick is on 18, so it'll be 23 points. So it'll be close to less than a race win for Nick. So it'll be a little bit closer, and Bants will also be in the picture as well. 2 wins in a row for Bants. That means that he will only be 11 points behind Nick in 3rd place.
It's still all to play for if Yugos doesn't pick up his pace for the final 3 rounds of the calendar. Next week we'll be at Monza, the one after Suzuka, and then the finale at
there's a Hungary race after Monza, by the looks of things. As long as the standings, the standing sheet is accurate.
We went off sync with.
Yeah, we did. I have a feeling that might be why the Hungary race is being slotted in.
Okay then. Yeah, probably complaints about Hungary missing. But as far as I'm concerned, it was not planned. Oh, as Yugos does a Thimo!
Oh dear.
And what a Thimo he did. TipsyBob goes through.
Yeah, that is a freebie for TipsyBob. Now, what's the penalty situation between the 2 of them? That is the question. Hugos does not have a penalty. He's got 2 warnings. Tipsy does have a penalty, so as long as he stays within 3 seconds, he's going to be alright. It's going to be close by the looks of it.
Currently does. Certainly didn't help his tires to spin now, and I mean that's a great indicator of his tires suffering. They have gone 2/3 of the way, and they are. Oh, and now he picks up the penalty. Radion running wide, so never mind to that. He's got 2.8 seconds to gain in that last lap, and I'm sorry, but that won't happen.
I'm very tempted to say the words Hugos and clutch in the same sentence. I'm not going to, though.
You just did.
Because Hugos having a miserable end of the race. Unfortunately, he's lost his 5th place, and so he loses 2 more points of his championship lead. So it's going to come down to 21 points now ahead of Nick in 2nd place. The gap closing to a 1.5 seconds up front, but it's not going to matter because Nick, of course, has those 3 seconds worth of penalties as well. So Bants all set to win this one.
As Baulosh picks up a penalty, which is a shame because he's currently right up the back of Stinger. Oops, what the hell am I? Oh, okay.
And Bants about to cross the line.
Yes. Oh, right, I should maybe... Yeah, Bants wins.
Wins the race.
Wow! Woo, surprise! I was about to watch Cursed and Stinger fighting, but...
Oh, Slash LP does the fastest lap of the race on the last lap, so he has some pace.
Let's actually watch this. Cursed is up there. Is really close to Stinger right now. Do not know the penalty situation. And Cursed down the inside, now towards the outside. Will Stinger hold on to this? Yes, he tries, but he is not able to. Now going towards Stavelo and Polfre. Cursed has taken P9 like the hero he is.
Although I've got some disappointing news for Cursed. Unfortunately, he has so many penalties that he's not going to finish P9. He's going to have to content himself instead with a single point for 10th place.
Which cements that he is still free to leave the league. Because he... Oh! Stinger just got 5 seconds for crossing the... That was a joke. I had it on stream.
Wow.
That was a joke.
I don't know why that was. In any case, it's still not enough penalties
Yeah.
for Kirst to be ahead. I think Kirst is clear of Jesse in 10th place as he crosses the line. Yeah, he is. Jesse had a bunch of penalties as well, so that is the race. Jesse finishing 11th.
So here is your winning celebrations on screen right now as Tiamat Marduk in a McLaren seat is visibly happy that Bants has won this one. Back-to-back victories for him. I think his only 2 victories of the season, right? So...
Yep, that's right. Just the last 2. Obviously in a good run of form.
Might be onto something for the end of the season. He also got P3 in yesterday's SLR race. And even with trouble, he ran into trouble with Copy and him coming together. So he's looking like he's very quick.
Yep, second in the Assetto Corsa race yesterday as well, of course.
Don't remind me. So, congratulations to him, of course, and also to everyone else who managed to finish this race with a result they are happy with. And Kirst.
Yeah, I mean, we didn't talk very much about Slash LP as well. Slash LP, I think, deserves a mention for a really good drive to 3rd place. So he's picked up a few podiums earlier on in the season, but nothing in the last 3 races or so. So he'll be pretty pleased, I think, to be back on the podium.
He's also got the fastest lap of the race at 45.7.
Yep, that is true. On the last lap.
Yeah, on the worn tyres, so great performance by him. Definitely deserves that podium and should be happy with it.
So we don't give driver of the day, do we? No, okay.
I wouldn't really know anyone who has been absolutely outstanding. I think everyone was solid and good today. That sounds more like an insult than it should. But
I think that's right. Yeah,
I don't think we're bothered.
Just looking in the stream chat to make sure that nobody wants driver of the. No, it doesn't look like anyone wants driver of the day.
I reckon I do, to be honest. But you know,
where the hell do you come from? I didn't hear the joining sound.
I'm always here.
Yeah.
You just need to say my name into the mirror 3 times.
So I guess we got an interview with the winner then. So
you don't have to. If you want to wrap it up, that's fine. I just wanted to meme it a little bit.
I seriously didn't notice that you joined. That's great. You've got a 2-time season 5 2-Sorel winner on the stream right now. Feel honored.
It's alright, isn't it?
That's true. Yeah, well, that's 3 podiums this weekend for Bants.
So
pretty good.
My question for you is, what is your form of porridge in the races lately?
I wasn't even driving that well, to be honest.
And now you're throwing some disrespect.
I was all over the place.
That band's mean and unfriendly as always. I think.
Yeah. Well, Nick would have clapped this one easy, but he did not know I was on softs for some reason, so he never pushed. He was waiting half the race. And then I told him, I'm on softs, and then he started speeding up, but it was too late. So,
that's very cool.
But he would have beat me. He was definitely quicker.
Why was he not pushing, though? Surely he should have pushed.
Well, he was pushing when he knew... Well, what he told me is he wanted to keep a gap because he didn't want to be too close as it doesn't benefit him. Oh, that's what he told me anyway, that he didn't want to be close behind me because there's nothing for him in it if he's right behind me the entire time. So
yeah, he was definitely fast.
Yeah, and qualifying as well. I went as fast as I could as well. I wasn't, it's the same time I did in SLR as well, I think.
Yeah, he did a 41, didn't it? And I remember the really fast times when we had the tournament with Etney and such were sort of, I think they were like low 41s, like low mid 41s, but 41.9 is really a respectable time. It's very, very quick.
Yes, indeed. He's good now. Fucking hell.
Yep.
So I think that wraps up the race nicely. Some battering around. So thanks for watching, everyone, and see you next week with lots of more stuff to come. Of course, the 3 Formula 1 races, and so make sure to check them out. And goodbye.
Bye.